allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind, my ego don't come, and in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this one not they off in mind, my ego don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. My yegun don't come. My people make you shout. My yegun don't come. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this man not the off in mind, my ego don't come, aha, now you muna don't hear all these bad politicians, them we call themselves politicians. Where they thief our money, we no want to make the common man get what he supposed get for this country. And I never hear something. Now go hear one, my ego, you go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, my ego don't come, my people make we laugh,
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live, and thanks so much once again for joining us. Remember that after reading the caption of the broadcast, you should read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, share it. Invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us if they can. Mayegun today. Mayegun is live. So thanks once again. So tonight, we are going to, as usual, delve into all kinds of things, but the top priority tonight will be the storytelling of El Rufai, the Kaduna Little Finger, and what happened to him at the airport yesterday, and why. As well as the latest announcement of the umpire, Nigeria's INEC. 2027 general elections timetable has been released. as announced by the chairman of the INEC. And that has now started generating, as usual, another controversy. Before now, I don't know how many of you are aware, right? The northern part of Nigeria, there is this movement, a campaign to change the INEC chairman again. Because according to them, while the conversation around Christian genocide was going on in Nigeria, the Arewans discovered that Amupitan, the new INEC chairman, was once among those who wrote on the genocide, the killings, religiously motivated killings in northern part of Nigeria. He is from the Middle Belt, he's from Koolu. But that report, which indicted the Islamic fanatics up north, is part of what was presented in this conversation in America around this Christian genocide or not. So the Arewa said that the report from this professor indicting the Islamists in northern Nigeria of sponsoring and shielding the terrorists committing all this terrorism in northern part of Nigeria. So that didn't go down well with them, because according to them, it's gonna make me start feeling like. So according to them, he is biased, he is anti-Islam, and therefore cannot conduct a free and fair election. So when the guy announced today that the 2027 election, presidential election, will take place on the 20th of February 2027, immediately the Arewanistans went into work. Because to them, this is the timetable. Let's start with it. So according to INEC, July 1st, they expect all political parties to start the process of conducting their party primaries between July 1st and September 30th this year. So submission of candidates lists to INEC is expected to be concluded by the 15th of November. Campaign for presidential and national assembly elections are expected to start from the 18th of November. And that is practically 9 months from now. So until February 19, the campaign period for governorship and state house of assembly elections will start from December 15th to the 5th of March. December 15, 26 to 5th of March 27. Then the elections proper as pronounced and declared by the INEC. So like I said, this platform will continue to document everyday happenings, actions, inactions of all of the known players in what is expected to be the shapers of your 2027 and beyond, just like it happened in 2015, 2019, 2023, and now another journey towards what I always feel like it's a charade started. Here, Amupitan making the announcement earlier today, and what he said.
Pursuant to Section 76, subsection 2, 116, subsection 2, 132, subsection 2, and 178, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, elections to the said offices shall hold not earlier than 150 days and not later than 30 days before the expiration of the term of office of the holders. This action we're taking today is pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria, and in particular, Section 28, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandates the Commission to publish the notice of election not later than 360 days before the date appointed for the election. Let me reiterate that. The authority and power to publish the date of election is that of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The 2027 general election will hold nationwide for the following offices. Number 1, President and Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, governors and deputy governors of the states of the Federation, except those states I've earlier mentioned, members of Senate, members of House of Representatives, and members of the houses of assembly of states. Therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred on the Commission by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and the Electoral Act of 2022, and all other powers enabling it in that behalf, the Commission hereby sets in motion the electoral process for the 2027 general election and fixes the date of the 2027 general election as follows. 1. Presidential and National Assembly election will come on the 20th February 2027. 2. Governorship and State Houses of Assembly will be 6 March 2027. The detailed timetable and schedule of activities have been uploaded to the Commission's website this morning and circulated, or is being circulated to registered political parties and relevant stakeholders. All the 36 resident electoral commissioners and that of the FCT are hereby directed to publish the notices in each constituency in respect of which an election is to be held. These dates reflect our commitment to ensuring that our electoral processes are transparent, credible, and adhere to the provisions of our laws. In accordance with the approved timetable and schedule of activities, primaries will be conducted within the statutory period stipulated by law. Submissions of nomination forms by political parties will commence and close within the designated windows as provided in the schedule, which I have just released. Campaigns by political parties shall commence on the date specified by law and end 24 hours before the election. I must also take a moment to address the current electoral affairs. Pursuant to...
So just the announcement. And one thing that stands out in all of that, or should be a little bit of the concern, is that he's presently acting based on the 2022 Electoral Act, while they wait for Akwabiole and his gang to finish their own cooking. So now, how that's going to switch, I don't know. But anyway, that date, 20th of February 2027, the Muslims are saying that's going to be Ramadan. And it didn't take time before, like I said, those who have been asking that this guy should be sacked, that he can't be trusted. Tinubu is going to use him to rig election, blah, blah, blah. So they believe that he has this anti-Islamic bias or something. He's got this bias towards the Muslims. So this is the preaching up north. If you are from southern part of Nigeria, you may possibly be hearing this for the first time, and you may even brush it aside like it's, don't mind them. It is something. So when he announced that February 20th of 2027 would be your presidential election date, that somehow threw them a bit off balance. And mind you, it also fitted into their conspiracy that this person is coming to do a natural job for our Koolu. It is not in the interest of Northern Nigeria. So maybe in the next few days, you're going to start seeing some of them speak on your TVs and the rest of. But many of them have actually been speaking, mostly in Hausa, out of this Hausa media platform, so to say. Yeah, I'll let Amupitan finish. So I want it on record.
It is a critical step in this process, allowing our stakeholders, political parties, civil societies, organizations, the electorate to prepare adequately for the election. As we move forward, INEC remains dedicated to engaging with all the stakeholders to foster a transparent dialogue regarding the proposed amendments. We believe that the collaboration and open communications are essential in the electoral system that serves the interest of all Nigerians. Political parties are strongly advised to strictly adhere to the timelines. The Commission will not hesitate to enforce compliance with the law. The Commission remains committed to deepening the deployment of technology to enhance transparency in the electoral process, ensuring the continuous cleaning and updating of the National Register of Voters, strengthening engagement with security agencies to guarantee peaceful elections, expanding voters' education and stakeholder collaboration to promote informed participation. Let me reiterate that INEC is guided solely by the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and our regulations and guidelines. We shall continue to act impartially, transparently, and professionally in the discharge of our duties. I call on all political parties to conduct peaceful and credible primaries, to shun violence and inflammatory rhetorics, and to uphold internal democracy. I equally appeal to candidates, supporters, and electorates to conduct themselves peacefully throughout the electoral cycle. The success of the 2027 general election is a collective responsibility. Government institutions, security agencies, the media, the civil society, organizations, and indeed all Nigerians must play their respective roles. As we
He has no job.
All of that, it's just talks. So there's no point in kind of belaboring you with a lot of it, because you're still going to hear more and more and more of all those fancy words that are crafted to make you believe that indeed they are honorable people, honorable men and women, but they are not, right? So I am also waiting for how the Arewans are going to possibly, push it enough to make INEC like change the election date from February 20 to God knows when. Because to them, they said it is Tinubu's plot against the North, so that there will be voters apathy. And people are like, there are Muslims in the South too. And they're like, no, they don't believe the Muslims in the South or that thing. No. Because if they know that the Ramadan in northern part of Nigeria is something that their people dedicate to exercise their their religious blah. So no distraction, no politics, no nothing. So if they had to go and vote during the Ramadan, there's a chance that chunk of them won't even want to participate in any election. And that will work for Koolu's re-election. That's the conspiracy theory. So I want to see how that plays out in the next few days, because this announcement has been made public. And by law, I think that's it. So it has to be something, then make them change it. Again, these are those who, the events that will shape your 2027. It's very good that you're following it though. So yesterday, Rufai, right, escaped being arrested by the DSS. And according to him, they were sent by Ribadu, the National Security Advisor to Tinubu. So last night, he kind of like received tons of visitors. Top among them is this Atiku. It was there. And they strongly believe that Tinubu's plan to muzzle the opposition it should be resisted. And that's what Atiku said. Yeah, I'll show you that part. Let's go to Abuja, then from Abuja to Kaduna, then back to Abuja, still with Rufai, if you don't mind.
Excellency, my brother, you are welcome. And I hope, in spite of what has happened at the airport, you will join members of your family to have, a very peaceful reunion. But let me also use this opportunity to strongly condemn what has happened today at the airport. There is absolutely no reason for authorities to try and embarrass you at the airport. Not only you, embarrass all Nigerians, because this is a democratic society. This is a society based on rule of law. There was absolutely no need for you to be or try to be kidnapped, I will say, from the airport. They could allow you to return to your house and then invite you normally. You have held very, very high positions in government in this country. You are a minister, you are a governor, and you successfully perform your functions. There was no need for them to try to embarrass you. By embarrassing you, they are entirely embarrassing the entire political class. And we condemn it. And we condemn it in totality. And we will stand by you, and we will protect, your interests and the interests of every law-abiding Nigerian, particularly the ADC. Just as they undermine and sabotage the PDP, there are also efforts and plans to undermine the ADC by using the judiciary again. We must be alert, and we must stand up against that plans to undermine the opposition. This is a very, very credible information. So we should all be at alert and make sure that the judiciary is not used to undermine the ADC, just as it has been used to undermine, to destroy the PDP. We must all unite and stand up, to all these anti-democratic forces. I thank you very much indeed.
Like that. So a lot of people are already saying that it is like Tinubu's government is actually playing into the hands of Rufai, because this is automatically going to snowball him into an hero-like individual who is being persecuted because he's standing up for the people, and he's standing up against bad governance. So with that, it can easily attract sympathy from the common people, while his own personal sins, like documented sins, will probably be watered down in that process. So Koolu and Ribadu are playing into that script very well. If it is now going to really work against them in the long run, time will tell, they say. But here is the supposed youth group within the ADC. You know, Rufai is in ADC. You were with him last night.
Performing ministers in the history of this country, the best brains we have. So for what happened this morning is quite a disgrace to our country. It's a disgrace to our democracy. Our democracy has been threatened because democracy can only strive with a healthy competition. And that's what we are doing. And that's what you are giving Nigerians. The ADC is a platform that brings hope to Nigerians. If there is hopelessness, what is next? It's anarchy. It is only the ADC, now that the people are gearing their ambition. They are putting their, ambition hopes together. So I want to use this opportunity to warn this administration that whoever is advising them is ill-advising them. Because democracy must be given a free chance for people to strive. So on this note, sir, I want to assure you, the Nigerian youth are not happy with what is happening. The international community are watching us. Africans are watching us. Africans are waiting for us to give them direction. And with what is happening now, this selective intimidation, selective arrest of opposition leaders is threatening our national democracy. And it's leading us to what you people have stood for, that there must be in Nigeria, there must be democracy in Nigeria, and there must be opposition in Nigeria. So, sir, we are here as a visit of solidarity to you and the Nigerian youths, the ADC youths, the over 150 million youths are with you, and we hope that this government will listen to this. Less democracy strives. Let's have a healthy opposition. Let's have all what we are saying is not much. Let's have free and fair election. That's all. Stop intimidating and arresting our leaders. You are welcome back, sir. We are with you 100%.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that.
So 150 million Nigerians are within. Politicians and they are delulu anyway. Yeah. Then he used the opportunity as well to tell them what happened. Okay, this is what happened this morning, guys. Before he went on to Arise News to drop a serious bombshell. We're going to get to that part. But this was him saying him last night.
Coming to my house for the second time in less than 6 months to commiserate with me over exciting incidents. The latest one being the fracas at the airport today. Your Excellency, you have always shown concern for my personal welfare and that of our friends and associates. This visit further reinforces that concern by the Constitution, for which I will be eternally grateful. Excellency, what happened at the airport today, as we correctly observed, was most unfortunate, totally unnecessary, and probably criminal as well, because agencies have rules of engagement, and all I asked for, give me a letter of invitation, and I will visit the office. But it turned out that it was the ICPC that procured the DSS to abduct me and hand me over to them. The ICPC has never contacted me or sought to invite me up to the point we were at the airport. The EFCC had written inviting me, and I was out of the country. My lawyer wrote to them to say that I will be returning and I will be there on Monday at 10 a.m. But the ICPC never had anything from that. But we understand that it was the ICPC, not the EFCC, that was responsible for what happened. And the ICPC chairman was acting on the direct orders of Ribadu, the National Security Advisor. We have reduced security agencies to the arms of a political party and a government that knows it is unelectable and wants to remain in power at all costs. And Your Excellency, I assure you that what has happened today has further reinforced my belief that we must work hard, we must not sleep between now and March 2027. We remove this. They are Democrats only in name. They mouth democracy. They have never believed in it. They are incapable of practicing it. And if we, the leaders of ADC, do not unite and provide Nigerians this alternative platform, these people will just walk back again. By the grace of God, with your leadership and with the support of other leaders in the party, we'll ensure that they go back to Lagos. Thank you very much, sir, and I feel very encouraged by your care and your attention to matters relating to our party and the progress of this democratic journey. I want to thank you once again for visiting to commiserate with us. But for me, sir, as you pointed out, the security agencies need to look at this incident and have a rethink. Because the moment the public loses confidence in the neutrality of the security agencies, they will resort to self-help. And God knows how I will end. God knows how that will end. The revolution is even a less painful option than what is likely to happen. What is likely to happen is anarchy. If nobody trusts the authorities to be fair, that will be anarchy. And I think we should have everything. Thank you very much, sir. And I want to use the opportunity to thank the passengers on the plane, many members of our party that came to welcome me, because it was the combined effort of the passengers that and a few of our leaders and members that came to receive me that said, no, you kill us all first before you take it. Yes. So Nigerians are not stupid, sir. They are not foolish. They may keep quiet, they may not shout, but they know those that are with them and they know those that are against them. And by the grace of God, next year the people of Nigeria will show that it is ADC that is with them. ADC that is. So thank you very much for coming.
Rufai, Kaduna Littlefinger. He continued to remind Koolu and his gang that if there is free and fair elections, they will be, inshallah, returned back to Lagos in 2027. Something that the Tinubu scam called a delusion. You know, delusion of a confused man. That's how Sunday, Dario Sunday, that's what that one put out today. They said Rufai is not hero. He's not a martyr. Rufai is one privileged criminal that is operating in a corrupt system like that of Nigeria. I mean, I don't know. That's not how I put it. He said he is not a martyr. He's not a hero. He's somebody who has a trail of blood, right, behind him for his every step. 8 years of terrorism in southern Kaduna, and then the peace that is returning to them. That's what a Tinubu scam put out. But as it is, like I said the other day, they've had their battle line drawn. And where this is headed, we may not have all the clarity yet, but still on the matter. Rufai returned back to Abuja this evening to go and attend a special interview with Charles to tell it all. What really happened? What's going on? I mean, you and Ribadu, you were friends. Like, what went wrong? What happened? Well, he didn't tell us, but he did tell us his own side of the story, which is what happened at the airport. He said 50 DSS officials tried to kidnap him. He said Ribadu sent them to go and abduct him since they are aware that he will be returning back to Nigeria yesterday. But why? His answer.
Well, I came out of the plane and a young man that is well dressed with a nice suit came to me and said, I am from the DSS, Department of State Security, and would like to meet with you in our office. I said, that's fine. Where is the letter of invitation? He said, my bosses have it. I will escort you to them. I said, I'm going through immigration. I have to do that. Just get me the letter. So he said, okay. But I noticed that as I started going, more and more people came out. Apparently, I didn't know because I slept through most of the flight, and even when we landed, I didn't call any of my guys to learn what was going on. But apparently, they had moved about 50 DSS operatives to the airport with the specific instructions that I should be detained, I should be abducted and detained. I will come to other details. But so we started working, but I saw more people coming out. You know, I'm a politician, I'm used to crowds, I'm used to people surrounding me. And then as we moved forward, we came to the point that I either go right for immigration or left for the e-visa. And the two officers came forward, one big fat one and another about my height, and said, we are from the DSS, sir, we are going this way. We need to go to your office. I said, I'm not going to your office. I'm not going anywhere until you show me a letter of invitation. Your guy said you have a letter. He said, no, sir. I said, if you don't have a letter, I'm not going. You know my house. I live very close to the DSS headquarters. I can even walk down there if you bring a letter of invitation. So I tried to turn right, and they tried to force me to go left. I said, look, don't touch me. I'm going with my passport to have it stamped. And I'm not going where you want. He said, you have to go to where I want. I said, even the president cannot tell me I have to do anything. It's a free country, it's a democratic country, and I don't have to do anything that I do not wish to do. So you are just a middle level or senior civil servant. The president cannot tell me what to do.
Don't say I have to. It's inappropriate language. And I turned right. By then, of course, some of the passengers had come and began to form a crowd. So I turned right and I moved on, presented my passport, it got stamped. And remember, before you stamp the passport, a DSS operative has to look at it and then hand over to the immigration officer. This were done. If there was any issue that is really official, the DSS operative would have told me we've been asked to hold your passport. So they stamped, gave me my passport, and I walked out. But these guys were still following me, saying I have to go with them. I said, you are wasting your time. I'm not going. I'm a citizen of this country, and I've been in government long enough to know the process, the procedure for any investigation. You are free to invite me, and I have been in government long enough to respect institutions. So just give me a letter of invitation. If you don't have a letter of invitation, forget it. I'm not going. But he felt that he could take me by force with the 50 armed DSS operatives he had. But by then, the crowd had become bigger. Passengers from the plane that came with me, as well as the people that came to receive me, now surrounded and said, that's not going to happen. They came up with a second scam. Where is your passport? I said, it's just been stamped. You saw it stamped. Yes, and then one of the immigration officers that is their surrogate said, no, we want to check something on the passport. I said, sorry, once the passport is stamped, it's my private property. And I held on to it. But one of my aides quickly took it away from me, maybe thinking that he would protect it better. That's the aide that got beaten up, and they seized the passport from him.
They beat him up.
They beat him up. If I had the passport with me, I would I would not be talking this. So this is essentially what happened. They were overpowered. They came with 50 people, but I think maybe 45 out of the 50 decided that this is not appropriate or this is not possible. And I was actually quite touched, Charles, by the way people spontaneously, without any knowledge or any plan, decided that this must be resisted. And I think it portends a danger that the security agencies need to have a rethink. Because once people begin to lose confidence in the neutrality of such institutions, we are on our way to anarchy. Well, I came
on the way to anarchy. So, El Rufai said that 50 armed DSS men were there to grab him, but there was no actual 50 men. But anyway, that's not probably the issue. Why is Ribadu so interested in locking him up? It's not even Tinubu now, it's Ribadu. Or maybe with the blessing of Koolu and others surrounding. Or why? And how did he know that Ribadu was the one trying to kidnap him? Well, he said, we knew. How? Well, somebody tapped his phone. And they heard him when he gave the order that I should be abducted and detained. Oh, but that's illegal. You can't say you tapped the phone of the National Security Advisor of Nigeria. No, I didn't. Someone did. I'm like, really? He said, but the government do it all the time. They tap our calls, they check our this and that, so why not do it to them? Okay, that's interesting. Now here, El Rufai.
What happened? Yeah, but I want to add something.
Yes.
Because my lawyers issued a statement after that, mentioning EFCC. I want to say very clearly, it wasn't the EFCC, okay? It was the DSS.
Right.
But the DSS were procured to abduct me by the ICPC that has never communicated with me ever, okay? The EFCC had written to me while I was away to say that I would like to have a chat with you over certain issues. And I replied, my lawyers replied that, well, I'm not in the country, I'm on my annual vacation. And once I know the date of return, I will let you know. And we have written to EFCC to say that, I will celebrate my birthday with you. My birthday is 16th February on Monday. I will celebrate my birthday. I will come and see you at 10 a.m. on the 6th. So it wasn't the EFCC. But my lawyer thought it was the EFCC, but it was not. Subsequently, we found out that it was the ICPC that procured the DSS to abduct me and then hand over to them. And this is a modus operandi of the ICPC that increasingly has become a personal tool of Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu made the call and made the order that I must be in custody yesterday.
How do you know he made the call?
He made the call because we listened to their calls. The government thinks that they're the only ones that listen to calls, but we also have our ways. He made the call, he gave the order. And
so you tapped his phone calls, did you?
Someone tapped his phone and told me.
Because that technically is illegal.
I know, but the government does it all the time. They listen to our calls all the time without a court order. But someone tapped his phone and told us that he gave the order. So, but the EFCC, I think, has shown itself to be more professional in this particular instance. And on Monday, by the grace of God, I'll go and see them. Yesterday, around 5 p.m., the ICPC finally did the right thing, not the DSS that tried to abduct me, by bringing a letter to my house to say, we want to see you on Friday the 13th. My lawyer wrote back to say, guys, my client is not an idle person that has no program. He's just waiting for a letter from anyone. We've received your letter. We will, now that you've written an invitation, you've had the courage to write an invitation, we will honor the invitation. But on Monday, we are going to EFCC that has written before. So we'll go there. After the EFCC, we'll go to ICPC on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know what the lawyer has written, but you know this. So this is the current state of things as far as we know.
Okay. Well, let me just make clear that what happened.
Yeah. But I want to add something.
I mean, could you actually feel the confidence and then the tone of his words? Kind of the tone, yeah? I told them if they want to, I mean, I'm not a idle person, so you write me and then I will tell you when I'm going to have the time to come and see you. Like that. But this guy, they talk about DSSO. The same DSSO that will track you anywhere. They know they write anybody. Say, okay, you, Mr. So and so, you want you to come to our office, and then you will write them. Your lawyer will write them and say, well, I'm very busy right now. I'll see you on Monday, or I'll see you on Friday. Nobody has such privilege. But this guy, so he has it. And they are probably like, excuse me, they are probably like many like that who have the same privilege. They listen to their calls too. And somebody just said it there, like, if you remember when the ISA pandemic, Isa Patantami was your Minister of Communication. I'll remind you, don't worry. When ISA pandemic was the Minister of Communication, Nigeria invested hundreds of millions of dollars on intelligence gathering, communication control, all those things. I'm giving them my own name. Here you get what? I'll break them down for you. They spent 33 or so million dollars to buy an hacking device, the hacking technology, which allowed them to hack into your WhatsApp. You know, say WhatsApp is like an end-to-end encryption, Abby. They're not supposed to really see it. They told us then that because they wanted to make sure that the terrorist communications is, properly like grabbed before they act. Yeah, they did. They went on to also invest again over $200 million on a spyware that they described as something that allowed them to tap into your phones, your emails, your text messages, faxes, and the rest of that. If you are a person of interest, or maybe just for fun, just listen to everybody, which gives them so much access to everything you are doing. And primarily, right, they lied to us then that they purposely did that because they wanted to monitor the growing or the increasing insecurity in Nigeria at the time. It was purely never to monitor the terrorists. Because, we are all alive today. That despite all this investment in this spyware, right, they ended up not catching any of these terrorists who later became live streamers on TikTok with ransom money and even their victims and the rest of that. What else are they probably using it for? That is not for the purpose. Now, who was that person that listened to the calls of the government officials? And somehow, they could actually use it against them. I don't know. If the National Security Advisor to Koolu is having his own phone tapped, that's an indictment too. It's not a flex. In my own opinion, or Nigeria is a place where anything goes. So don't be surprised. Did you do that? Rufire. Then he added this.
Absolutely. Charles, in civilized countries, you don't start investigation by abducting a person or even arresting a person and keeping him while you're investigating. It's violation of human rights. You do your investigation, okay? Financial records today are largely electronic. They can't be hidden. You do your investigation, you get your records.
How do you know they haven't done their investigation, which is why they're coming for you now?
They have done their investigation and have found nothing. Okay?
Yeah, but you don't know that. You haven't answered to them.
I will go to them.
Right.
Charles, I've been around this system. I know what's going on, even in those institutions. I have an idea what's going on.
So are you suggesting that political motives are at play?
Absolutely. Look, some of the professionals in this institution feel very bad that they are being compelled. And when some of my guys that have been invited or abducted face them, when they finish all the questions, they tell them, look, we're sorry, but this is all political. Why don't you guys go and settle with them? Settle with them means what? Submit to be a member of APC, agree that Tinubu will have a second term. That's what it is.
Well, let me ask you a couple of rapid fire questions.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll have brief answers so we can move on.
Yes.
During your tenure as governor.
Absolutely. Charles.
We are coming there. So El Rufai is no longer that powerful, dreadful El Rufai that was so mean to critics that even if you are not living in Kaduna, the state he was governor of, right? You're living somewhere else, he could track you down and get you abducted. Yes, abducted. It happens to a guy called Stephen Kepas. All right, he's a very, very factual, open critic of El Rufai's regime at the time. I mean, they were the early pioneers of reporting events of the killings by the Fulani terrorists in southern Kaduna, the genocide that took place in that place. Those young guys were the early ones because they were from the place, right? You know something? El Rufai had to use this same DSS. From Kaduna, they tracked him down to Port Harcourt, River State, where he lives. And then they took him. His family members, friends, colleagues at work, nobody could tell where he was for straight 8 months. When they finally found him in the DSS dungeon somewhere, right? They charged him for cyberbullying El Rufai, this same guy. And yeah, he was there for like another 1 year before they finally got his bail. And you know something? After like 2 years back and forth, they dropped the charges. The same El Rufai is accused of disappearing a young man called Abubakar Dadiyata. That was a famous missing person for years now. You know, the young man is also known to be very much like open critic of Gandola and this El Rufai, but he was living in Kaduna. The day he was to disappear, he arrived his home. As he was about to get into his compound, some suits and then, dark shade wearing criminals, they approached him, identified themselves as a DSS. And that was the end. That was the last time his family members saw him. So that question popped up with Charles this evening. And here is what El Rufai has had to say.
To be the 27th of February.
That's what we do. We arraign people before a court of law.
Right. Well, what about the still unresolved case involving one of your very fierce critics, a man known as Abubakar Idris Dadiata, a lecturer and a social media commentator. He was, to use your word, abducted from his Kaduna home in 2019 by unknown gunmen and has remained missing to this day, nearly 7 years later. Amnesty International considers the case to be one of enforced disappearance, and many fingers point towards your government, which was in power in Kaduna State at the time. Are they right for their fingers to be pointed in the direction of your government? Because his protection is the duty of your government.
Charles, they are totally wrong. And what you have been given is not the right, is not the correct thing. Dadiata's timeline is still around. Go and study it. Dadiata was not a fierce critic of Kaduna State government. He was a fierce critic of Kano State government. He's from Kano. He's a Konkosia guy. He lives in Kaduna and lectures at a university in Katsina State. He lives in Kaduna. But he's a fierce critic, not of Kaduna State. Go and review his timeline. Okay? It was Ganduje that was his problem.
But he was living in your state.
He was living in my state. But
so technically he is your...
No, of course.
He falls under your province.
Yes, but I didn't even know him. We only got the report of Dadiata's existence.
Right.
Okay? And the fact that he lived in Kaduna State after his family reported to the police that he was abducted as he was returning home in the evening. And when we investigated, all that we could gather from his family was that the abductors came, took him, and they came from Kano. So if anybody is to be asked questions about the disappearance of Dadiata, it's the Kano State government. It has nothing to do with Kaduna State government. We didn't even know he existed. And Charles, trust me, he was not a fierce critic. I didn't even know he existed until he was abducted. But till today, some people on social media ask me the question. I don't care. 3 years after Dadiata was abducted, a policeman that was posted out of Kano to Ekiti State confessed to someone that they were sent from Kano and they took the guy, they abducted Dadiata, and he felt bad about it. That's the only thing I know. But it was not a Kaduna State problem. He lived in Kaduna State and it was our duty to protect him. But how could we protect him when we didn't even know he existed or was a particular critic of Ganduje?
Right. Okay. Well, let's move on from there.
So we should start asking Ganduje what happened to Dadiata, and the young man remained missing. One of the saddest tale of being outspoken against the bad governance in Nigeria. It could cost you your freedom. It could cost you your fortune. It could, in fact, cost you your life. That's why a lot of people are always like, no. We just see no evil, say no evil. Maybe one day, God will deal with them. That's the danger. You know, disappearance. That happens a lot. And when people are saying, why should America add the names of Kwakwanso, that's a Kwakwanso, to the list of terror sponsors, Sharia promoters, and Islamic extremist sponsors in Nigeria, when the likes of Rufai did not even make the list? We haven't seen all the lists. But here is what Rufai had to say about Kwakwanso's names in the list of terror sponsors or the extremist sponsors, Islamic extremist sponsors in Nigeria. His response:
we need to ask some very difficult questions so that is recalibrated, so that every Nigerian will feel safe. But coming to the matter of Kwankwaso, I think it is most unfair to tag Kwankwaso, and I'm trying to figure out whether it is the $9 million lobbying money that led to the list of Kwankwaso because Kwankwaso has refused to move to APC. Because the evil that this government is capable of is beyond your imagination, Charles. They may be behind it because Kwankwaso has refused to move to the APC, and there are rumors that he will move to the ADC.
Well, you're saying there may be.
Yeah.
They may be behind it.
They may be behind it.
In
fact, I cannot think of anyone else because look, 12 northern states implemented Sharia, okay? The first state to do so was Zamfara. I thought Zamfara should be listed there if at all anyone is to be blamed for this Sharia fiasco, all right? Kwankwaso followed suit like many other northern governors, and Kano was not very strict in even implementing Sharia. So he's not...
Liar. Kano is implementing Sharia very strictly. But the kind of Sharia that you have in northern Nigeria is called political Sharia. It is very selective, okay? They have their ISBA that goes to hotels to arrest customers. They arrest trucks loaded with alcoholic beverages, even though they still collect money from the VAT from the same alcoholic drinks. So, but just to show their hypocrisy, so they will burn drinks, destroy them, go to hotels, arrest people who are eating on the day of Ramadan. You know, people are fasting, Abi. But if you are found eating in Kano, you will be arrested by the same ISPA. So meanwhile, they are politicians. They are living their luxury life like nobody cares. They're fornicating as much as they want. They are drinking, drugging, and the rest of that. None of this ISPA would ever mistakenly arrest, I use mistakenly because that would be by mistake, to arrest any politician in that same northern Nigeria. So it is political Sharia, of course. So how did Kwakwansop's name ended up on that list? Could it be part of the $9 million lobbyist money that Tinubu's regime paid? Ribadu paid the money to through a Kaduna law firm to a company in America called the GCI Group. So could they be the ones that gave Kwakwansop's name? Because it's not like Gerlin, that's what people are saying. But he's right. We haven't seen all the full list yet. I don't know if it's probably like an extensive list. We don't know. But yeah, the guys from northern Nigeria, some of them were Fulanis, are also very much upset. Not only that Kwakwansop name is added, okay, but the fact that this Kwakwansop name is added immediately after Pastor Rat visited America. You see how conspiracy theory does work, right? So according to them, Remi's visit to America was not just a visit, and somehow it is to further ask America, okay, to attack the northern Nigeria. In a nutshell, somebody is saying that Tinubu's wife's move is Tinubu's move, and it is anti-northern Nigeria on top this matter of fighting terrorism. Here is one of them.
Recently, the wife of the president, the first lady of the country, was in America, and she was calling for more American strikes in the northern, she specifically stated northern part of the country. She didn't call for strikes in the southeastern part of the country that are suffering from the IPOB and sit at home and issues of separation, agitations of separation, killings that are going on there.
You don't think that it's fair to say that the North is a top priority when it comes to insecurity?
The North is a top priority when it comes to insecurity, but it shouldn't be labeled as a crisis that is based on faith.
Is there a chance that you are misinterpreting the efforts as something that is targeting Muslims or North to destroy the region?
Of course, of course. It is a deliberate act.
But where's the facts?
The facts are numerous. Wherever America in the past 20 years has conducted war, it's in Islamic countries. From Somalia to Yemen to Iraq to recently in Iran. Forgetting the fact that millions of Christians are killed in Palestine today. Millions and millions of Muslims are being killed over the years. The recent count in just the 2025 crisis between the Palestinians and the Israelis is 70,000 people dead. Americans are not focusing on that. The European countries are not focusing on that. So this brings out the hypocrisy in this in the southern hegemony in the context of people with certain faith being designated as certain people.
So you're accusing the wife here. You're accusing the wife of the president of what exactly? What did the First Lady do
The
wrong?
First Lady has called for attacks. The
Against
American
terrorists.
government, she did not mention terrorists.
Who do you
did
think
not
she wants
No,
to
but
be
she did
attacked?
not mention terrorists.
But you,
Quoting
but
her
it should
word
go
for word,
without saying.
quoting her
that-
word for word, she called for more strikes in the northern part of the country. That's quoting her word for word. And if you look at the narratives that are being sent out by certain media organizations in Nigeria here, you talk about Fulani herdsmen bandits. You don't talk about Igbo bandits. You label criminality and target to a certain faith, or you target to a certain ethnicity, is absolute profiling and is condemnable. This is what we need to desist from doing. We should call a criminal, whatever his background of faith, whatever his background of ethnicity, whatever his background of geography where he comes from. A terrorist is a terrorist. A criminal is a criminal. There is no need demonizing so many other people, innocent people. I'm a Fulani man, back and forth. If you say Fulani herdsman bandit, you're including me. There are criminals that I don't associate with. There are criminals that I condemned their acts.
But isn't there a chance that, I mean, the possibility that all the things you're saying could be true? However, the same narrative could also be empirical, that the bandits are majority from the Fulani extraction. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, if the bandits are from the Fulani extraction, then are you calling every Fulani man a bandit?
Yeah, but that is the point that has not been made.
All right, let me ask you another question. The majority of the people in ESN and IPOP are Igbos. We up till now have the tag of unknown gunmen. Why is it that we don't have the tag Igbo gunmen? I'm asking you that same question.
I suppose you have to talk to the people who are using unknown gunmen.
No. I'm asking you the same question because you asked me the same question, that the majority of the herdsmen, the bandits, are Fulanis. And what is wrong with associating the Fulani?
I'm saying it's a fact that some of them are Fulani.
It's also a fact that 100% of members of ESN and IPOP that are perpetrating the criminality in southeastern part of Nigeria are Igbo people. Why don't we label them as Igbo gunmen? Why don't we label them as Igbo?
Why is the equalization important in your view? Why is the equalization
The equalization is important in the sense that you will be able to understand the hypocrisy that is clouded in the narratives that is being sent to the outside world. Fortunately and unfortunately for the northern part of the country, it lacks the mouthpiece to express itself. Most of the outlets, media outlets that are dishing out news and news agendas for Nigeria, for Nigerians, to the outside world, are people that hardly even understand the northern part of the region. So they send out narratives that suit their own interests. It's commendable, and it is a matter of urgency and necessity for our leaders in the
nuisance lele.
I actually have to give him a break. Remy went to America to praise Trump and said they are happy that America is working with Nigeria to to strike the terrorists in Nigeria. Nigeria government, America government, the ISWAP terrorists, not Muslims, not Fulanis, not anything, ISWAP terrorists. This is what they are still on. But the likes of this Fulani terrorist in Agbada, here you get, who is also a PDP member from Kano State, by the way, would want to give this impression that when you talk about getting rid of the Fulani terrorists, because this is a two-case thing now, right? We have indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who are peacefully advocating for the peaceful separation from Nigeria. The political class in the eastern part of Nigeria thought they were just like every other group that had ever, it's like screamed Biafra in the past, offered them the usual pot or plate of a porridge. When they refused, they decided to criminalize them. They created their own criminals, politically sponsored thugs and criminals, and they called them unknown gunmen. So, would you now relate that with the Fulani terrorists, fully armed, that continue to display weapons of mass destruction, threatening civilians, Nigerians who have no relationship with Fulanis whatsoever? I mean the indigenous people of Nigeria who have come under attack, whose villages, communities have been ransacked, children, women killed, kidnapped for ransom. How could anybody stand up, right, and say, oh, the America should go and bomb the eastern part of Nigeria because they are asking for their own country, legitimately? And then the Fulani terrorists who left wherever they can call their own indigenous place in which they are not indigenous to Nigeria to start with. But Fulani terrorists are moving from towns to town, villages to villages, ransacking them, killing people in their numbers. So how could anybody feel so mad and compare what has already been kind of like agreed, right? And compare that one with the killings that the Fulani terrorists are already doing? They are killing non-Fulanis. They are going to people who have any connection with Fulanis whatsoever. They are destroying their farms, destroying their communities, kidnapping people for ransoms, people who are not Fulanis. IPOB is not destroying anybody's village. IPOB is not kidnapping anybody for ransom. Do you see the difference? But he was there on their TV trying to let his listeners, especially who are probably the Northerners, right, who are listening to him, to see what he called narratives that they want to put out. You know, like if you are watching or reading about the killings of the Fulani terrorists, the ASWAP, the Boko Haram, and the rest of that, and you are so like horrified in that sense, right? People like that want you to believe that, oh, listen, it is not that bad, though. There are others who are doing even the same thing when there are none. Do you get that now? So, Tinubu's regime is believed, from the eyes of guys like that, right, is believed to be working against the interest of the North, and that Tinubu's wife went to America to ask America to come and bomb the North, and that's not what it is. Do you get that now? Because there are those who have done so much to twist the government of Nigeria in protecting these terrorists, placating them, pampering them. These are the guys. So if you come around and decide to actually let the law enforcement do their job, go after them and deal with them, these are the guys who let the majority of their listeners in Northern Nigeria believe that it is an attack on Northern Nigeria. And they are educated. He speaks so clearly. Like, listen to him. The clown.
I have told you in a recent interview that was conducted here with me, a Christian that is living in any part of Kano State is safer than a Muslim that is living in any part of Plateau. And that's a fact. In the past 20 years, how many Christians were killed in Kano? In the past 20 years, how many Muslims were killed, murdered, gruesomely murdered in Plateau? We recently have the issue of General Al-Ghali. In the southeastern part of the country, we have the issue of Gulag. We have the issue of Harira that was killed along with her six children and
if you have to cherry
a
pick
pregnant baby.
If you have to cherry pick incidents, there are others who would also cherry pick incidents of mob action. Whether it's Deborah in Sokoto, for instance, or several other incidents where Christians have lost their lives as a result of their faith. I mean, there's always room for everybody to cherry pick and make his own point. But the larger conversation is,
we are cherry picking,
where are the common denominators?
The common denominators here is there is widespread insecurity in Nigeria, and it affects everybody. And the federal government needs to do the needful. Take a look at the legal brief that Joash Amupitan has written, dissect it, and look at the comments that are contained in that legal brief and the signals that it sends to the outside world.
Do you think the INEC chairman is responsible for what is playing out right now? Because you keep referencing that legal brief.
Of course, he is the author of the legal brief. His seal is there. His name is on it. And up till today, he has not come out to dissociate himself from that legal brief. So we have to hold him accountable. It's a treasonable offense. I repeat it again. It's a treasonable offense. Calling for the use of external...
For a lawyer to...
Is a treasonable offense. Calling for the intervention of foreign military forces in your country. Calling for the United Nations forces, the IU forces, the ECOWAS forces.
You just said the First Lady is asking for military strikes in the north. Is that also treasonable felony as far as you're concerned?
The First Lady of the country made a statement, and that statement can be interpreted in a different manner. This we are talking about a legal brief, a document that is of 80 pages that somebody sat down, drafted, and even said in that legal brief that Fulanis were latecomers to Nigeria as they joined Nigeria in the 19th century, forgetting that the Usman and Fodio jihad took place over 200 years ago, and associating everything that is happening in Nigeria today to the jihad of Sheikh Usman and Fodio. What is the link? What he has successfully done in that legal brief is label any northern Muslim as complicit in the killing of Christians in northern Nigeria.
That is your understanding of it.
That's what he did.
I mean, that's your understanding of it.
That is what is contained in the legal brief.
Okay, so
and that is what I understand from what I read in the legal brief.
You don't believe the New York Times reporting of an obscure screwdriver who has put together a report that has been used to reference what the U.S. Congress is using as
what
data
the U.S.
points.
Congress has done.
As data points.
What the U.S. Congress has
Christian
done.
Genocide.
What the U.S. Congress has done is listen to a narrative that is one-sided, perfected their investigation that is one-sided, never took time or care to go and listen to the people in Katsina, to go and listen to the people in Kaduna, to go and listen to the people in Zamfara, to go and listen to the people in Sokoto, to go and listen to the people in Maiduguri. All the references that are being made is that they had a visit, they investigated in Benue, and they were relying on materials that were being sent out by from
nuisance Lele.
I know, it's kind of like annoying, isn't it? Yeah, the confidence, the all of that. They are very, very much upset with the INEC chairman. Oh, I'm not kidding you. Because that one has his name very much engraved on a report that is believed to have emanated from him. And that report is the, detailed report. Historical references. Detailed report of all the jihadist attacks in the middle belt part of Nigeria. Here you get, like, saying this is the genesis. So this is how this guy became part of. Usman Dan Fodio came to this part of what later became Nigeria in 19th century, which is true. So they were never indigenous to Nigeria or any part of the land called Nigeria today. So if you have people in Zamfara, in Katsina, where they have what they call the simple majority now, these Fulanis, they are not like majority, but because they are mostly the ones controlling levels of power in those states. Right? So, Usman Dan Fodio, who happened to be the first jihadist, the first terrorist to walk the land called Nigeria today, they don't belong to Nigeria. Do you get that now? So if people are being killed in Zamfara and all these places, who are those killing them? Nativi people are being Gala people. They go kill people in Zamfara. They shout Allahu Akbar. Are they the ones who are kidnapping and controlling the communities that have now become ungoverned areas in Katsina? Are the Yorubas, the Lakurawa of Sokoto, who are killing people in Sokoto, kidnapping them and all of that? Are they Yorubas? Those Boko Haram, Iswap, bombing and killing the Nigerian soldiers, even civilians and the rest of them in Borono and all that axis, are they Igbo? Are they Igbo, Iswap? So the bottom line is, when these characters who continue to, display this level of violence in that sense, right? Whenever those who are supposed to probably like deny them, join the rest of us to say, oh, listen, these guys might be from my ethnic nationality or tribe, but we are also victims of what they are doing. So therefore, we should condemn them together, because call them who they are exactly. But you see these educated ones who have held political positions, who have used this religious indoctrination and the rest of that to gain power and remain relevant, most of them, right? So they will be the one to go on TV to start like eating those who are pretty much supposedly not to be concerned. They kind of like find the ways to drag them into it and put them in the midst of it. Muslims. You get that? The terrorists are killing Christians, they are killing Muslims. But somebody who is a Muslim is offended that the Christians are being too loud about it. Why are they not talking about the Muslims killed? Hang on, who are those killing them? Some of them are not really bothered about those killing people and why they are killing people. They are more really bothered about how you are reacting to it. Like, why are you reacting like that? Why are you talking like that? So are you saying all the terrorists are Muslims? Is that what you are saying? I said, no, I'm not saying, I didn't say that. I said these guys who are beheading and killing people continue to shout, jihad, jihad. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Now that we can all agree that they don't represent their religion, there shouldn't be any Muslim who is not a terrorist, a sympathizer, go on TV or online to try to find a way to twist what should have been a common ground for everybody to actually destroy them. Twist it in the long run, defend the terrorists. That's what they are doing to me. If America is bombing them, it is because the government of Nigeria, well, allowed it. Not like they could stop it, but eventually they've been on their media, where I've used several times, to brag how much they shared intelligence with America in destroying the terrorists in Nigeria. But hey, guys like this, we ignore that and make you believe that, oh, it is you they are coming for, it is your religion they are coming for, they are just pretending to be coming for the terrorists. Alaye, you demand. Why are you trying to give excuses and reasons why, the terrorists probably shouldn't be dealt with in that sense? If you're not a terrorist, a sympathizer. That's what I usually ask myself, right? In Enugu, Tinubu's, Tinubu started what they called forest rangers, yeah? And he told all the states to go and recruit their own forest rangers. Their job is to help, at least, again, against these Fulani terrorists. So imagine Fulani terrorists terrorizing people in eastern Nigeria, terrorizing people in southern Nigeria, in western Nigeria, Yoruba land. Now, the Yoruba governors came together, launched a security outfit called Amotekun. And you know why they launched Amotekun? They launched Amotekun because of Fulani terrorists. Yorubas have nothing per se that you can say they share the border or wherever with the Fulani and the rest of the, except for Kwara. It's pretty much like a confusion, right? So why should Yorubas be paying ransom to a Fulani terrorist on their own land? For the same people that this guy believes they are putting, everybody speaking about it is putting a wrong narrative out there or trying to paint all the Fulanis as terrorists. No. There are Fulani terrorists. There are Fulanis. So if you are a Fulani and you are not living in denial, you should ask yourself, why are the Fulanis kidnapping people in Edo State? Waiting Fulani and Edo people have in common? Land, culture, religion, tradition, nothing. But if you go to Edo State today, you can see like maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 homes in Edo State have experienced this venom of these terrorists. What are they doing in Edo State? What are they doing in Delta State? What are the terrorists doing in Oyo State? These same guys. Anyway, they told them to start to start their own forest rangers. And here, are the Enugu Forest Rangers. Take a look at these characters. And then you probably will have a bit of an idea of what the unknown gunmen in eastern Nigeria, how they came by, and that they've got nothing to do with this IPOB, ESN, and whatever media narrative they are pushing. Take a look at this. These are government recruits ahead in Enugu. So they are gyrating. At least they all have AK-47. Government issued AK-47 to go after the Fulani terrorists in the Enugu forest. And of course, Enugu states have they've had their own fair share, horribly, in the hands of these terrorists, especially because Enugu and the Benue state are shared border, right? So simply means that the spillover from what is going on in Benue have been biting in the Enugu's ears too. So hopefully they will be sent to the forest for real, not sent after those they considered as their political enemies. Now they have to call them is to say the IPOB, their ESN. And then yeah, they can kill them. They've been doing it anyway, and their media has been very, very much in business with them on that, unfortunately. But let's leave that. Here is the survivor, a little boy or a little baby, don't know if it's a boy or a girl, right? Baby that survived the recent attacks on these on the several communities in Plateau states, right? So this young man, by the way, I heard is also a Fulani who is doing a missionary work in helping the victims of the Fulani terrorism in that kind of order, right? So he's a Fulani guy, and we just spoke about the Fulani terrorist. So there are Fulanis, there are Fulani terrorists. Most of them were pretty much not from even Nigeria, we heard, right? Take a look at this clip.
That a lot of media cannot show you, that a lot of media cannot publish. But here is the truth of the things, the truth of the sufferings of Kaduna local government, people's sufferings, most especially the believers, Christians. This baby that you are seeing, imagine a young baby like this. She was born, the mother is kidnapped. The mother is nowhere to be found now. She's in the kidnapper's den, and they leave this baby like this. What an irony of life. What an irony of life. And the way I'm seeing things, government are not doing anything about it. They are not saying anything about it. And no one cares. No one cares. All these people that you're seeing here, that you're seeing in the background here, that you're seeing here, everybody that you're seeing here, one or two of their beloved one was one kidnapped, and all their houses were burned, their beloved one was killed, they are all being displaced. They are here. Nobody knows where, nobody knows where a single meal will come out later. Look at this baby. What an irony of life. A baby like this, that's supposed to be with her mom, breastfeeding. The mother is nowhere to be found, she has been kidnapped. The baby is only left. He was given birth after 2 weeks. They now come and kidnap them. After 2 weeks? Just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks after they give birth to her, they come and kidnap the mother. That's what is happening. Now, how is the baby surviving, sir?
Oh, in fact, we used to bind milk.
Yeah.
Because
milk?
Yes, because we come and give our sister the
okay, where is the sister? That is taking care of her now.
Yes.
Sister.
Because you know they cannot breastfeed this breast again. No matter how.
Come.
So,
Okay, the baby is under your care.
Yes, sir.
You usually buy milk.
Yes, sir.
They say after 2 weeks that she was being born,
Yes, sir.
the mother was kidnapped.
Yes, sir.
And now the baby is under your care.
Yes, sir.
Hope the baby is not going through any sickness or
Get sickness.
what is it? Pneumonia.
Oh.
Have you people started treating it or have you treated or not yet? Okay. Is there any medication? Okay. But I hope it is the hospital that recommend the kind of milk that you're giving to her. Okay.
So stories like that abound. And I keep reminding us that in this, tragic existence, right? The children are the most affected victims. If we pay attention very well, women, children especially, whose lives have been uprooted abruptly by this violence, and they've just had to follow everyone. Some of them have lost their loved ones, they've lost their parents, and they just have to kind of follow the crowd and end up where that they have no idea, have no clue. And that's enough to actually get the criminals in charge of Nigeria to do something, but no, it's not enough. Because they are really, really far off from it. Very, very far off from it. Because if they are not, in this day and time, if they have their hands on it, on this issue, for real, would have been having on the side and say, these are the people who were like victims and they've been like rehabilitated, they've been returned back to their homes and all of that. So government is trying in that regard. Sure, you get, you will say, but no. It is always an opportunity for every one of them that is appointed to probably help or figure out a solution. It's always an opportunity for them to enrich themselves while they leave these victims. And they got us, fortunately. But in Abuja, Rotifmi Amechi, the Obima Judas Iscariot, has joined his other colleagues like Obi Atiku to campaign and mobilize the people of Abuja to support the ADC in the February 21 AMAC election. AMAC is the local government election in Abuja. So Amechi was also on their campaign trail today.
We are together.
I know be good woman. Before even though he said, I said I go vote for him, I know be good woman. Okay, why you go talk like that? And I don't want fight, I want this. Make you see me say I be good person. Well done, sir. I like that. Now I need to start
We don't get proud of that one. Our Papa be this so. Our Papa be this so. We don't get proud of that one. Our Papa be this so. But it's totally interesting.
Anyway, that's just a by the way. And while we're living there, while we were living that scene, found this guy, and it's a placard. It's for Koolu.
Just Nigerians, we want President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 15 years to be our president in this country. Senator Abduct, you need to pass this to law. We have never seen this before in the history of Nigeria. The Nigerian youth are benefiting from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. It has never been before in the history of Africa. The Nigerian students are benefiting from the Nelson student loan. It has never happened before in the history of Nigeria. But the Bola Tinubu, the first Nigerian president, now that they have spent 4 years, Nigerians are begging him to spend 16 years in office. Please, President Bola Tinubu, we want you to spend 16 years in office. It has never happened before. We appreciate you for the magic you are doing in Nigeria. Thank you for being the majority of Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu, we want you for 16 years in office. Thank you.
Right.
Who did this thing to us? Okay. May God forgive all of us.
Right, right.
Who did this thing to us? Okay. May God forgive all of us.
Right.
Amen. You never see craze. You will see crazy. Now that they have said that officially, 81% Nigerians have from tiny to mild to higher level of mental disorder. You need to check yourself. You probably, Nigeria, if it don't force you, done the math too. So you need to check. So that simply means that you're going to see more and more and more of such a craze. They are part of the population. Every time they say Nigeria's population is 250 million, who do you think made up that 250 million? Do you think all the 250 million, they're okay? Do you really think you should be beating your chest and be saying Nigeria is 250 million? Nigeria is, do you really think so? You'll find out as the days and the weeks, days rose to weeks and weeks rose to months, right? So we're going to get to their 2027 craze. It's just, okay. In Abia State, the women 2 days ago had to take to the streets, calling on their God to take Oji Uzokalu. Oji Uzokalu is the front of those who are trying to remove Alex Otti, and they've been threatening openly. So the women have become more like enraged. So they went out 2 days ago, like this. They were practically asking God to take him, right? That he's destroyed or Afia or destroyed some of their communities. He's destroyed lives, and right now he's not quitting. So make God just go take him. God will not take us now, right? Thank you very much, everyone, for your time, and thanks for showing up as well. Before you leave, remember, please like the broadcast because we've come to the end of the chat this evening. Okay, I will see you another time, and I will keep pushing. Don't miss the next one. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. fatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ o làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.